Okay. What is executive functioning? Self-regulation. Cross-temporal planning. Okay? We are the people that forget shit. You know, we really like our girlfriend, but we still forgot to bring her flowers or wash our hands for the 73rd time. We mean so well, we try so hard, you know. But we don't get systematically instructed by anybody about anything. So I got some tools that I use. Basically, I'm channeling Jerome, my saintly father, who taught me how to get shit done. Now, the tools that I use, time maps, the request handling algorithm, Pessimistically Planned Transitions, and my two helpers, Aldo and Luigi. And we'll come back to these guys because they're very important. So let me talk first about this, the request handling algorithm. Okay, somebody wants me to do something. I want me to do something. The very first thing I'm going to ask is, am I going to get this done at one time, or is this going to be a whole nother deal with I got to have a bunch of time to do it? Because if it's going to be a one-time event, then the next question is, am I going to do it now or am I going to do it later? Now, there are 3 time maps, you see. There's a day map. Then we got the week map. We don't have the month map. It's crummy drawing. All right, so each one of these poles on the request handling algorithm leads to a different map. I'm going to do it now. I'm looking at today's map. How does it screw things up? I'm going to do it later. When am I going to do it? If you can't say when, you can't say yes. And in a month map, if it's a multiple event, what rhythm is it on? It's only 8 human rhythms. So that's the structure we're using. Now let me start talking about day maps. But the whole idea is that day maps only have 2 kinds of items on them. They have activities and transitions. And I like to think of this like alternating C-clamps. You know, the beginning of every transition is the end of every activity. The end of every activity is the beginning of every transition. Transitions are pessimistically planned, and they're bifurcated boxes. Now, activity boxes are, like I said before, I'm going to do this thing at this time, in this place, for this duration, right? 4 qualities that you're going to give an activity. The other quality is it's a partly filled box. I got a 4-hour activity, goes in a 6-hour box. I got a 2-hour activity, that's an hour and 15-minute box. You know what? Because people call me, because my mother's, you know, she needs me. So I'm not going to fill the boxes all the way, because I'm going to screw myself if I do. So I'm going to treat myself with respect, and I'm not going to fill the boxes all the way, so I can be adaptable to my life. Now, if you are an expert at transitions, this is going to make things a lot easier. Now, a transition is a structured thing. It's not a moment in time. It's not a note. It's a chord. When am I going to get there? When am I going to leave? When am I going to start to get ready to leave? Now, you know, most people, okay, I got to be there at 5:30. Yeah, it takes me about a half an hour. At 5 o'clock, they pick up their head. Too late. You're late, dude. Because you didn't give yourself time to reflect. Now, look, we are under-reflective. Now, we are not machine gunners of reflection, ladies and gentlemen. We had best be snipers. Okay? I'm going to reflect every time I move. My father taught me, the saintly Jerome. Every time you move, touch your wallet and your keys. Well, you know, this is what I do. What did I bring here? What do I have to take with me? Did I leave this place the way I found it? Now, you know, that's not something I think. It's something I do. I stand up and I look around my office. I lay out everything I'm working on the whole day, and when I leave, it's spotless because I took everything I needed. And I asked myself these questions as I looked around. And it's a ritual. I pessimistically plan my transitions. I make sure I have everything I need. What that means is when I leave one place, I'm going to examine everything I have to do till I get back there. Right then, at the moment I move. Structured reflection. On the day map, the way to understand this is that we really divide our day into 6 3-hour blocks. 6 to 9, 9 to 12, 12 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 9, 9 to 12. The top 2, you know, the top and the bottom, they're really just, you know, getting ready to be alive. You're 6 to 9, who's productive? 9 to 12, you know, you're watching Nightline. I don't know what you're doing. So you really have 4 3-hour slots a day. There's really only 28 slots a day, and they're not even 3 hours because you got to eat lunch and dinner, maybe breakfast. So you got really 10 productive hours a day. That's it. That's what you got. And now the point is 90%, 95% of people spend 95% of their time doing the same 10 things. Ready? Get out your notepads. Cooking, cleaning, shopping, laundry, bills. That's the domestic 5. Work, sex, socializing, exercise, screen time. You doing anything else, let me know. I'm just saying, and now you make a beautiful picture out of it. Right? You make a beautiful picture so that you do the same things at the same time every week or every other week. And then you can see that your weeks are the same. Now, let me go back a second. What this is really about is using your spatial intelligence to organize your behavior and your intentions. Now, I got 2 conveyor belts. One of them is the day map, and the other are the week maps coming at me. The day map, it's like a stack of boxes, so I could see it right in front of me like a stack. Or it's like walking down the street where each street is of a different length, and they're also of a different distance. Now, we can catch a ball. We're very good at noticing things coming at us when they come at us at a steady speed. We're even good at noticing when things come out at a differential speed. How do you hit a curveball? Right? But so if we're watching the day come at us, these 2 little kinds of boxes, it comes at us in a very slow, comfortable way. There's not that many different ways to arrange for 2.5-hour slots, people. After a while, you get used to it. It starts to look the same. And there's another conveyor belt, which is of the weeks coming at me. And every week's the same. And I only have a few open spots generally. Mondays and Thursdays, I'm in Brooklyn. Wednesdays and Fridays, I'm in Manhattan. Tuesday in the morning, I clean the house. I got a few errands Tuesday afternoon. I can tell you 2 or 3 weeks ahead what Tuesdays are going to be like. The weekends, I got to see my dad on Sunday. It's like tennis on Saturday. I know what I'm doing mostly. So if you ask me to do something, I can look at these things coming at me. And they've been coming at me for years. These 2 guys, these 2 conveyor belts. And I can see them in my sleep. So I know everything I'm going to do because it's very easy to organize things spatially. Now, if I tell you, okay, here's a list of 30 landmarks in Europe, and I want you to remember them all, and they're in no particular order, that's a tough thing to do. If I tell you, okay, you're going to London, and there's 3 landmarks there, and there's 3 in Paris, and there's 3 in Rome, and there's 3 in Venice, and there's 3 in Florence, oh boy, you'll remember the whole goddamn thing. Now look, we can remember 5 items, up to 5 items, for any location without any effort whatsoever. We have amazing spatial abilities. When I was a kid, I read about the pygmies in Zaire, and they could find food that they'd been to once in a jungle that doesn't have road signs. We have amazing spatial abilities, and we don't use them. But use them to organize time, and you will master yourself easily. Okay. So the point is that we've got these things coming at us, and we see them, and it don't have to try to remember. You just put it in the place. Now, if it's a multiple rhythm, what rhythm is it on? There's only 8 human rhythms. Once a year, several times a year. Once a month, several times a year. Several times a month. Once a week, several times a week. Once a day, several times a day. That's it. So if you can't say when, you can't say yes. So these 3 time maps allow you to use this algorithm, and everything gets placed and everything gets remembered. It's really quite simple. Now, there's a little bit, the last tool, and we're really closing in now, folks. This is what I call an identity pole. Everybody has an identity pole. What I mean is, I don't wake up in the morning and think I'm a girl. I don't wake up in the morning and think I have hair. I know where I live. I know my mother's name. There's a lot of things I know because all the cells across the spectrum, all the cells know it, and it's not something you have to try to remember. It's not so hard to add some things to your identity pole. So you always have your wallet, you always have your keys, you always have your computer, you always have your phone. You don't feel right without them. And okay, so I'm telling you that it's possible to add 4 items of data to your identity pole. Now, I have 2 little employees that live on my shoulders. This is Aldo, and that's Luigi, and they got jobs. Now, Aldo's job is to remember what time it is and what I'm doing now. And Aldo is the left brain in the right brain. Aldo is fierce. He protects me. He knows what I'm doing. He don't let me change unless a very good case is made. Luigi tells me what time I have to change, what I'm doing next. Luigi is a master craftsman. Aldo don't want to know. Luigi's working all the time. People call me, I got to change things, that's Luigi. Aldo, he works for me. He keeps things sane. Anyway, these things that I know what I'm doing. I have a part of me that says, hey, right here, Don, you're giving a speech now. you know? And I don't change that unless Aldo thinks it's good for me. Now, these are dedicated servers. They come off the maps. They read the maps for me. They tell me what's going on. They're little guys like me that work for me. And I know these things. I know who I am all the time. I know I'm Don, father of Julia, son of Jerome. I know who I am, and I know what I'm doing. And I don't change it unless it's good for me. Now, I can be tempted by distraction, but I got a part of me that's not going to give in unless it's good for me. I got another part of me that's keeping track of what I have to do next. I will never start anything if I don't know when I'm going to stop it. Luigi's taking care of me, just like Aldo. Now, that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. I think I've told you the things that I know. And I think these things are important for people all over the nation, really. I feel there's a crisis in mental health. I feel that people are not being given simple information about the drugs they're taking and how they interact. Now, let me just finish up and tell you, the way that this works is that you make contact with your inner self and you propose changes in the time maps in a respectful manner. When you want to organize your life, you think about these simple maps, you realize time is finite. There's only so much of it. So you can only spend it a little bit. Spend your time. So you must clear this with the inner parts of yourself. Everybody has an outer self and an inner self, a conscious mind and an unconscious mind, a left brain and a right brain. If they're not going to work together, that's when your ADD makes you vulnerable. It is concomitant upon you to learn how to knit the parts of yourself together, to use the trance to find mental clarity, basically to clear your mind. When you feel your hands and your breath and the pulsing light, your mind is clear. Your left brain is occupied and your body takes over and relaxes just fine, you see. So you learn the trance, you use the trance to clear your mind, to find your inner self and propose the changes in the time maps. And if you have been treated for the depressions that you have, the inherited ones and the acquired ones, and you are given modest amounts of stimulants in small doses to get you over the things you have to do that you don't really like to do, you can take control of your life. We are not taking care of ourselves, and we can and we should. I want every person with ADD to see this. I want us to have our own Bernie, our own lobbying group. I think we can, we should, we must change the way we take care of ourselves. We need prescribers who are therapists and therapists who are prescribers. We need to train shamans again because there won't be many left. And we can. It's not hard. Nothing here is difficult. A tiny little college course, a 2-hour session, it's nothing. You can learn this. It's easy. It's easier than everything you've done in your life, if anybody ever told you. So thank you all. I can't thank all of you enough from the bottom of my heart for helping me realize my dreams to try to do more than just see one patient after another. And of course, my door is always open to all of you. It looks like I didn't speak into this mic, but I hope they'll hear me anyway. Okay, everybody, here's our program. Thanks very much for watching. You've got it all now. What is ADD? What is depression? How to treat depression? Acquired, inherited, trances, and procrastination and disorganization. It's all here. Tell the people you know who have ADD. We're a community and we need to pull together. All over this country, there are those of us not getting the treatment we require. Please spread the word about this. Go to our site. Take a look at the things that are coming out. Thanks again for watching. Find your focus with Dr. Don, the Attention Doctor.